So Julian Assange is free. Julian Assange is free, but it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. The United States government, Joe Biden, is still pushing charges. Just like fucking Obama, just like Bush, just like Biden and Trump. They're all doing the same damn thing. So apparently you're going to have, he's going to the Mariana Islands, North Mariana, and he's going to plead guilty in exchange for asylum in Australia. So it's like you could go free. This is almost like Leonard Peltier. They said he could go free as long as he admitted that he was the person that did the crime. And you have conspiracy. This is freedom of the press. He was given raw data. Chelsea Manning gives him that video, the video of collateral damage, which shows that the U.S. empire is not just killing the troops and the military people in Iraq. They're killing everybody. They're killing journalists. They're killing women. They're killing children. And it doesn't look good. And that's it. It was the truth. When it comes to videotape, if you didn't see it yourself, all you got is videotape. And videotape is like the eyes of God. Yeah, there's deep fakes now. I don't know how to do no deep fakes, and I'm not sure how many people do. Julian Assange doesn't look good. He looks very unhealthy. He's got that bloated fat face like he's got some sort of, disease. And then he's supposed to say that he's guilty. So it's almost like if you are a loved one of him and you want to see him come home and be free, then it's like, fuck that damnable pride, fuck that, your ego. Just go ahead, say you're guilty, and then you get to live in Australia. Then you get to be free in Australia. But I think it's absolute bullshit. He is such a freedom fighter. I remember watching him before all this shit went down, and it was almost like nothing's going to happen to him. What would happen to him? Why would anybody want to go after Julian Assange? They already dropped those charges from Sweden. But why not just free him? What the hell does the system need? Why does the system, you think you're saving fucking face by fucking him over? Well, see, he said he was guilty, so therefore open and shut case. It's not that he's already served a jail sentence. How fucking long has he already been in? Goddamn confinement. How long has Julian Assange been in prison? So it says he was in Belmarsh, which is the worst prison in fucking London, for 5 years. And then he was also, how long was he? 14-year-long saga to dodge extradition. So, 14-year-long saga. When did he stay in the embassy? When did he? Who? What do you mean, who? Julian Assange. Come on. And it's saying 2012. So for 12 fucking years, he's already done his time. He's already done his sentence. Jesus Christ. Even if you were to get the guilty verdict, what you're going to get him forever? And guilty of what? Conspiracy? Freedom of the press. We already had New York Times v. U.S. 1971, and I'll do some quotes about the Supreme Court case that defended our right to press. This is straight out of the Constitution, straight in the very beginning. You have a right to speak. You have a right to bear arms. You got a right to petition and peacefully assemble. And in fact, if you're not going to give us our Bill of Rights, these, weak-ass civil rights, then it's on like Donkey Kong with the natural rights, where you have a right to everybody and everything and everywhere. And so it's almost a goddamn tradition for the English people to flip the fuck out. So he doesn't look all healthy and spry. They're saying he's got to plead guilty to a single felony, and then Stella Assange says that she's going to fight for the pardon afterwards. So, okay, so, good news, but not good news. It's great news that he gets freedom. It's a little bit of a kick in the dick right before he walks out the door. And then Mike Pence is sitting there saying Julian Assange, was such a terrible person because the truth, he endangered the lives of our troops. Why? Because our troops were killing innocent people, and so therefore the people knew the truth about our troops killing innocent people, and then people were mad about it? Is that what you're trying to say? Because we're not winning hearts and minds. Did we not invade Iraq in order to free them so they could get freedom and democracy, so they could get out under the yoke of Saddam Hussein, so they could breathe all this freedom air? Isn't that the point? Fucking Pence is so goddamn out of touch. Our empire killed 2 journalists and either a kid or two, and he just ran a website that published the raw data. He didn't alter it, he didn't edit it, he didn't pick and choose what he wanted to publish. He published the exact video that was leaked to him by Chelsea Manning, by a U.S. troop. So you want to say he put troops in harm's way? Why would a U.S. troop want the world to know the truth about what we're doing, about Namir? And so we're just free to, the Iraqi people have freedom and democracy to be blown up by our bombs. So, you know, bittersweet, like I said. Glad that he's out, but kind of a kick in the pants, you know, kicking the ass on the way out. In 1971, New York Times v. U.S., here's one quote: in seeking inductions against these newspapers and in its presentation to the court, the executive branch seemed to have forgotten the essential purpose and history of the First Amendment. Yeah, the purpose of the press is to check the government. You have a right to speak, to right to publish. This is James Madison. You got a right to speak, to right to publish your sentiments. So therefore, you got a right to publish the raw data. Somebody did some sort of study, some sort of video, some sort of freedom of the press is one of the great bulwarks of liberty and shall be inviolable. That's constitutional. Both the history and the language of the First Amendment support the view that the press must be left free to publish news, whatever the source, without censorship, injunctions, or prior restraint. 1971, New York Times v. U.S. For without an informed and free press, there cannot be an enlightened people. 1971, New York Times v. U.S. In revealing the workings of government that led to the Vietnam War, the newspapers nobly did precisely that which the founders hoped and trusted they would do. Right, the Vietnam War was bullshit, and so good thing that the 1971 New York Times v. U.S. case happened. So that's a little bit about Julian Assange. Do we have any updates on this? Excuse me. Says he arrives in Australia following the release on a U.S. plea deal. And he's got 2 thumbs up, looking happy, a little bit bloated, a little bit fat. Apparently he had a wife and kids that nobody knew about. They said he appeared in court in Saipan in a deal that ended the 14-year legal ordeal. He landed in Canberra on Wednesday, hours after the 52-year-old pleaded guilty in a court in Saipan to the charge of espionage relating to obtaining and publishing U.S. military secrets. That's not fucking espionage. That's just telling the truth. The first casualty of war is the fucking truth. So just because he told the fucking truth, frankly, you need to know what the hell's going on. You can't make a decision until you know what's going on, until you know the reality of the situation. How can you proceed forward? Oh, yeah, to save them from Saddam Hussein. Then why the hell are we killing those kids? Why the hell are we killing journalists? That's not saving anybody from anything. So that's embarrassing, not just, you know, that's embarrassing as an American. That's embarrassing for my country, for my homeland. That's embarrassing. And we should do better. That we should take what they published and do better. Have we put any protocols in place so that we're not just willy-nilly shooting anybody and everybody? Free to go. You'll walk out of this courtroom a free man. I can't stop crying. Stella is very happy. The Australian's flown to Saipan from the UK on a private aircraft. He walked into the court accompanied by members of his legal team and Australia's ambassador to the US, former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd. He answered basic questions from the judges. It's from Al Jazeera, listed as the terms of the deal were discussed. Addressing the court, Assange said he believed the Espionage Act under which he was charged contradicted First Amendment rights in the Constitution, which it does. It does. And especially in his case. But that he accepted the encouraging sources to provide classified information for publication could be unlawful. Yeah, I'm sure. I believe none of that. They twisted his arm. They coerced. Some bullshit. I would like to know what he thinks when he gets back to Australia. As a condition of his plea, he'll be required to destroy information provided to WikiLeaks. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, well, they delivered it to WikiLeaks. Now you got to destroy the information. It's like we're trying to kick in the pants, a kick in the dick. Saipan was chosen for the court appearance due to Assange's opposition to traveling to the mainland U.S. as well as its proximity to his home in Australia. That's very smart. And goddamn, I mean, he basically is like extradited to America, to that goddamn prison, penal fucking goddamn totalitarian fascist fucking torture prison land. I ain't going to that fucking The freedom, yeah, that's a free country, yeah, right. Look at all the people and they're goddamn rotting away in their goddamn prisons. The hearing was a welcome development, all appropriate channels, Assange, da-da-da-da-da. His lawyer, Jennifer Robinson, said it was a historic day and thanked Albanese for helping make Assange's release possible. Overwhelmed with joy, celebrating. Who will want to replicate what Julian Assange and WikiLeaks did if they know what is going to come after them for publishing the truth? This is not a perfect picture, but Julian is free. The world is a better place. Narvaez said. Barry Pollock said he was a victim of an injustice. The prosecution of Julian is unprecedented in 100 years of the Espionage Act. It's never been used in the United States to pursue a publisher, a journalist like Mr. Assange. He's actually like more lamer than a journalist, just a person running a website and anybody that gives him information. He revealed truthful, important, newsworthy information, absolutely. Revealing the U.S. had committed war crimes, which we did. The release of Assange, and didn't Obama say, well, we tortured some folks. Hey, we tortured some folks. Okay, so was that damaging to the troops? It seems to be the final chapter. Maybe there might be a pardon. 5 years, high security Ecuadorian embassy. Sweden, 18 criminal charges. 18 criminal charges. Jesus Christ. Well, you published that one video where that's like really mean and that's not nice and cruel. 18 fucking charges in game theory, I guess, in a way, getting one. I mean, 17. 17 were knocked down. That's pretty amazing. And there you go. That's an update on Julian Assange.